Well, good morning, everybody. It is a gorgeous morning here at the campground.
This is where we left off, Loft Mountain Campground in Shenandoah National Park. Today, the journey continues through the Appalachian Mountain Range, going south. We'll stop at beautiful Tallulah Gorge in northeastern Georgia. There will be a minor RV incident because sometimes things happen on the road. Then, after a brief stay in Atlanta, we're going back to Florida for one final stop at Olino State Park.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV.
Well, yeah, I kind of overslept. It is already 9:30 a.m. But you know what? I've been tired lately. In fact, some people have commented on some of the videos that I've posted if I'm feeling sick, and I'm not feeling sick. I don't have any new pains or aches or anything like that. But I've been tired. It's been a long trip, and I guess at some point it starts catching up.
Destination by 10:16 a.m.
The way I put as my destination is the northern entrance to the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is basically the continuation of the Skyline Drive, right?
Keep right.
What? Keep right. I'm in the middle of a campground. We're not gonna do the whole Blue Ridge Parkway, of course, but we'll do most of the day, and then I'll take a detour, and maybe we'll make it to Charlotte. Maybe we won't. By Friday, which is the day after tomorrow, we are going to be in Acworth, which is just north of Atlanta, about an hour north of Atlanta. I mean, it's pretty wide open, the campground here in mid-September on a weekday. It's Wednesday today. Alright. Oh, there's a garbage right there. Let me throw away the garbage real quick.
As I set the GPS for the northern entrance to the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is the part that I haven't done yet, but before that, we still have a little bit of the Skyline Drive here to go. About 45 minutes or so. Much better views today, much better weather. And we are above the clouds. Beautiful views from up here. Wow, how many people fit in that transit van?
Did all those people come out of that transit van? Man, those things can hold a lot of German tourists.
In 150 feet, turn right onto Skyline Drive.
I mean, I think they're German. They sounded German. Yeah, there's the black Toyota once again going just below the speed limit. With that, we have completed the Skyline Drive.
And here, the Skyline Drive becomes the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Here's our first overlook here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. The first of many, I'm sure. And that's the valley down there.
Let's stop at Humpback Rock's Visitor Center here, get some information, a map. You know I'm collecting those. It is a pretty small visitor center compared to other national park facilities.
Okay, got myself a map. The National Park Service people always so nice. But anyways, it is about 200 miles to... Actually, probably a little more, 202 miles or so, 210 to the North Carolina border, and that's pretty much the new goal for today, I think.
This internet connection isn't reliable at the moment.
I knew she was gonna say that.
The original idea was to go all the way to Mount Pisgah, which is the northernmost point of the Blue Ridge I've driven to. But realistically speaking, I have a feeling I'm gonna get bored way before then and not do the whole thing.
It's beautiful out here.
Yes, very, very nice views today. So glad we're having a mostly clear day. Yeah, as beautiful as it is, I doubt I'm going to make it even to North Carolina. At least not on the Blue Ridge. And my stomach just reminded me that I skipped breakfast.
Let's have a late breakfast slash early lunch here. It is 11:17 a.m.
Okay, let's see what's about to go bad here in my fridge. We'll start with some baby spinach and eggs, perhaps.
Yeah, they're almost bad. Let's saute these mushrooms here first, and then we'll add the rest of the stuff. There we go.
Salt, pepper. How about some turmeric?
It's a dried white wine by Goya.
Yeah, that's the one that I found in Pennsylvania.
Y el Goya tiene que ser bueno. And while this cooks, I'm going to scramble an egg or two later. I still have some Kraft singles. I can't believe I used to like this stuff, but we cannot throw it away, so I'm gonna use it here. My mama always told me not to throw away food ever. This is gonna be so good.
Oh, this was a gift from Ron Hempf from Toledo, Ohio.
This is Tony Paco's salsa, medium Hungarian. Actually, I'm gonna add the eggs. And I hope you know that I never follow any recipes. All this, everything that I do is pretty much variations of an on-the-spot invention here. And this is what we're gonna do. What you gonna do when they come for you? We're gonna make it like a wrap. Burn, baby, burn. Omelette inferno, burn, baby, burn. That turmeric gives it a beautiful, beautiful yellow color. You see that? One slice. This cheese here, I was gonna do two, but I'm just gonna do one. One should be more than enough. And at the Safeway in Pittsburgh, I bought this Italian trio that has provolone and this salami and pepperoni. So we're gonna add some salami and pepperoni, and then we're gonna put the egg. So that's what it's gonna look like. Bon appetit. It's gonna be messy at the beginning. Oh, I forgot. I'm also gonna add some of this spinach. So yeah, that's amazing. You know, the combination of flavors, it's really what makes something like this good. Well, gotta love every life. We were just able to stop here, make breakfast. You know, you can stop wherever you want, pretty much. cook yourself a nice meal, go to the bathroom if you have to, and then continue. Self-contained. And being able to do it at a place where it is 64 degrees, nice temperature. Well, we'll continue on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Here's a little bit of a change of scenery. Very nice, actually. This is a pretty long stretch here where there are no overlooks, not many places to stop. It is a beautiful drive, but I'm ready for a break. There's one. It looks like a trailhead. Here we go. Uh-oh, no turnaround. I need to take a break.
Autumn is upon us. Check it out, the view.
All of a sudden, it is becoming really scenic. You know how much I love mountains. I also like lakes, by the way, and this one is called Otter Lake. I think we're gonna stop here for a few minutes.
Swimming, boating, and ice skating prohibited. Ice skating, huh?
I would imagine this gets pretty cold in winter, something my Floridian brain has trouble with.
Very pretty.
I can see this freezing solid and making for a very nice skating rink.
650, so we are very low here.
I mean, compared to other places I've been to.
A very pleasant temperature.
There's a trail that goes around the lake, and it takes about 45 minutes. I'm just gonna do a short segment here. It's really a dam. Perhaps it was a natural occurrence at some point, but nowadays it is a dam.
Probably a pretty cool loop trail to do, but not today. Alright, let's continue on the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Crossing James River. Next up, probably Apple Orchard Mountain Overlook, and I have a feeling the most scenic part of the drive is yet to come. Oh, check it out. This is Arnold Valley. We keep going up and up in elevation, and the higher we go, the better the views. Oh no, it's getting cloudy. Okay, this one is called Onion Mountain Overlook. Oh, there is a short trail to the actual overlook. Let's do it.
It's not the best marked trail. I forgot to put on my hiking shoes. So it could be through here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm lost.
So in other words, yeah, I changed my mind. I chickened out. As I said, not the best marked trail. And there's lots of bugs, which are starting to bug me. Let's continue on the Blue Ridge Parkway here in Virginia. Yeah.
Ooh, what is this place? I have to make a U-turn. Well, it turns out it is Peaks of Otter Lake. And there is a nice lodge here, so let's see if we can stop for a few minutes, huh? It looks like they have bus and RV overflow parking back here.
Let's just go that way.
Very nice. I imagine this would be so relaxing. Staying here, in front of this lake. A lake and a mountain. Doesn't get much better than this. There is definitely a very relaxing vibe here.
Nice hotel here. I mean, if you don't have an RV.
Look at that view! Definitely some of the better, more expansive views we've seen in either the Skyline Drive or the Blue Ridge. Wonder what's going on here. Some kind of photography club, perhaps? We're actually crossing the Appalachian Trail right here, and I was hoping to park, but that's not gonna work now, is it? Yeah, found parking a little further down the road. What an incredible drive it's been. Uh-oh. The road seems to be blocked. The Blue Ridge is closed. Can't go any farther. Oh well. Bummer. I'm gonna have to find an alternate route.
Well, slight change of plans since the Blue Ridge Parkway was closed. We're gonna take I-81, we'll go a little faster. And maybe tomorrow we'll rejoin the Blue Ridge Parkway for a little bit. Maybe not.
Yeah, we're gonna take Interstate 81 South, which, by the way, it is a very good, much more picturesque alternate to I-95 if you wanna visit the northeastern part of the country. I've taken it before. Remember when old Kia died? Yeah. I mean, nothing compares to I-70 crossing the Rockies, but this one is very nice too.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my
Here we are taking I-77 South, as if going to Charlotte, and let me tell you, I'm tempted. I have friends in the area, but no, not gonna do it this time. After much deliberation, I've decided to stay at the fancy Gap KOA. KOAs, as you probably know, are generally more expensive, but they are so convenient, not to mention easy to book. And since my battery is pretty much dead at this point in this trip, I need power. And full hookups are always a nice extra perk.
I was gonna cook some dinner, but turns out they have a smoker by the entrance that looks pretty legit. And they sell, barbecue sandwiches. And they have a brisket. And they have a pulled pork. I opted for the beef brisket. I'll let you know how it is. Let me taste the beef by itself first and then. That is good. Good morning from Fancy Gap. Well, yeah, this is breakfast, actually. I'm kind of addicted to this organic cold-pressed juices. It's this one is called Mighty Dozen. It has apple, celery, cucumber, kale, collard greens, lemon, mint tea, ginger, spinach, spirulina, whatever that is, chlorella, and barley grass. Sounds and tastes nutritious. Right, today mostly a driving day. Fancy Gap KOA, barely knew you. But what I saw, I liked. The place is run by this very nice couple, and they have a pretty legit smoker. So the
Make a U-turn.
What do you mean make a U-turn? Oops, am I going the wrong way? Let me see the countdown map here. Although I don't think the Google lady knows what she's doing. Okay, no, I could go all the way to the end. They were gonna put me all the way back here in the end, but then I would have had to unhitch. And the gentleman, he realized that, and he said, he will be better off at this other side. So even there, the little things like that which count. And I will return here at some point, because I do want to explore this area a lot more and do the rest of the Blue Ridge Parkway, but not today. Today we're going to Georgia. Georgia is already on my mind, even though we are like 4 hours away. But I want to be, first of all, I want to be somewhere where I'm within 2 or 3 hours to Atlanta, because that's where I want to be tomorrow, which happens to be Friday. And I saw this place marked on my map. You know, I have all these little stars on my map. It's called Tallulah Gorge State Park.
In 600 feet, turn left onto State Route 683, Frog Spur Road.
I hope it is pronounced that way. And in any case, that's where we're going. It's about 4.5 hours if I were to drive non-stop.
Yeah, this is a very nice KOA. I gotta make sure I come back here sometime. Someday.
AT&T coverage, not the greatest. The internet was very slow, but I was able to upload one video, so. And off we go.
This is gonna be another beautiful drive here on I-77 going south. Goodbye, Virginia. We are now in North Carolina.
Welcome to North Carolina.
I-40 West here. Not the most scenic of drives, at least not until we hit the mountains again. We're close to the Smoky Mountains. Tempting, but no. In fact, we are now on US 74, also known as the Smoky Mountains Expressway. Yeah, what a gorgeous drive. I love all the shades of green, that haze that gives the Smoky Mountains their name actually. It's been a beautiful drive. A long, beautiful drive. Over 5 hours in total, but we're almost there. And we are in Georgia. Or shall I say, Georgia is on my mind. Not the biggest of signs.
Welcome to Georgia.
Oh, thank you.
Northern Georgia is one of my favorite parts of the country. And we drove through here once before, in the fall of 2017, when we visited the Georgia Guidestones and Watson Mill Bridge State Park.
You've arrived.
Thank you, little lady. Here we are, Tallulah Gorge State Park. Let me tell you, I really love this area of Georgia. I love the vegetation, the people are nice, and yeah. We are a little over 2 hours away from Atlanta, which is where I'm going to go tomorrow at noon. And now we're gonna do a trail. Yeah, we have about 3.5 hours of daylight. Hopefully it's enough. Yeah, very nice campground, and it's half empty, really. I'm just gonna connect my electrical, and tomorrow I'll just fill up my freshwater tank. And I'm not even gonna unhitch. As you see, I found like the sweet spot in this hill here, so I'm level. And that's all I really need. All right, let's go for a little hike. It's supposed to be like a 2-hour hike, more or less. Right? Although the map is not very explicit as to length, distance. We have about 3 hours of daylight, of usable daylight, so we should be okay. Beautiful park so far. The trailhead should be that way.
It seems to be that way. We're gonna do the North Rim Trail first, and there's the dam.
This is overlook number 5 on the map. And here's the view. You can kind of see the gorge down there. But perhaps there is too much vegetation. So this looks like overlook number 4. Direct view of Tallulah Falls Dam, completed in 1913.
I think dams are truly fascinating feats of engineering. I mean, the ability to contain the incredible pressure of the water. Just another walk in the woods. I wonder if they have bears here.
This part of the trail seems to be ADA compliant. It's like hard-packed mulch, kind of. Overlook number 3. Much nicer. Look at that. And that over there must be overlook number 2. Let's head that way.
Tallulah Gorge here. Beautiful. What a pleasant surprise. Some of the leaves are starting to turn. I am so glad I decided to come here. This must be overlook number 2. The gorge at this point, 350 feet deep.
I almost made a wrong turn. Overlook 1A.
Definitely not ADA compliant. Oh, check it out. The suspension bridge. We definitely have to make it down there later. Let's stop by the interpretive center.
We have some exhibits and a gift shop. And sound effects.
I like it when places like this, visitor centers, museums, they go the extra step and add the sound effects and things like that. It definitely enhances the experience.
Well, according to the park ranger, it is pronounced Tallulah. So we're gonna go with that. And I don't know if it's worth it to go all the way to viewpoint number 1. I mean, it's only a quarter mile to overlook number 1, so.
Yeah, might as well do it. Nice view of the river down there peeking through all the vegetation. Here we have the remnants of a tower, the North Walenda Tower, which held a cable attached to another tower on the other side. And apparently it was used by one Carl Walenda to tightrope walk across Tallulah Gorge back in 1970.
Okay. Where's the tower on the other side?
This must be overlook number 1.
Yeah, the camera will not do justice to the feeling of vertigo that I'm having right now.
Okay, let's continue. I was gonna go back, but I decided to do an extra quarter mile to Inspiration Point. I better get inspired.
Alright, let's go cross that bridge down there. Starting to break a sweat here. And it is not hot by any means. It's high 60s, probably 70. But you know, the exercise and the humidity. Yeah, humidity. We must be getting close to Florida. Inspiration point here, totally worth the hike. Probably not the most inspirational point out of the 6 or 7 or 8 points that there are, but still worth a hike. It's always good to break a sweat, you know, you get rid of toxins and stuff. Well, yeah, we're kind of backtracking to the point where you take the stairs. And I guess we've done half a mile from Inspiration Point. Now it should be right there, the stairs. Alright, this is it. The leaves are turning ever so slowly.
Here we are, we've made it to the suspension bridge. And here's an interesting view from under the bridge. I really hope all the screws are tight.
Well, the freakiest part is that the bridge actually moves a little bit, you know, it swings a little bit as you walk on it. So it's through a suspension bridge to its name, and the wood is a little cracked and rotten. I don't know. I'm sure it is totally safe. Okay, now we have 221 steps to Hurricane Falls platform or gorge access. Which one should we do? Let's just go all the way.
We're gonna go 221 more steps down, besides the 347 we have to climb in order to get to the South Rim Trail. Ooh, this is gonna be good.
Gorge floor permits required. Okay, we won't be needing that today. But here's the lower platform.
What a beautiful place this is. I suppose this is Hurricane Falls?
Well, this has been by far the most beautiful view of Tallulah Falls. We are here, and this is the Hurricane Falls platform overlook. Now we're gonna go up here and go up to the North Trail. If we have time, we're gonna do these three overlooks, and then we'll go back to the campground this way. The campground is somewhere up here. Let's do it.
Well, yeah, it is much harder on the way back up, as it is. We're back by the suspension bridge. 221 down, 347 to go. For some reason, climbing stairs seems to be a lot harder than just hiking uphill. different muscle group, perhaps? It certainly is steeper. And we've made it!
Alright, 8, 9, and 10. It was such a cloudy day an hour ago, and now nothing but blue skies. Yeah, no such thing as bad weather, only bad timing, huh?
Oh, that looks like the interpretive center on the other side of the gorge, on the north rim. Here's overlook number 8, with a view of the interpretive center, Devil's Pulpit, and Hurricane Falls, 500 feet below. Overlook number 9 here. The gorge is now 650 feet deep.
Okay, let's see overlook number 10, which is this right here. And we go back.
Check it out, the North Walenda Tower on the other side. Yep, I think we've had enough fun for one day. Let me tell you, coming to Tallulah Gorge, what a great experience. I had no idea this was going to be as good as it turned out to be. I mean, if you're in the area, I fully recommend it. It is getting late. I better get back to the campground before it gets dark. Apparently, this is overlook number 6, for those of you keeping count.
Let's go back to the campground.
And back by the dam we are.
That was a nice view from down there, but to cross over to the other side, I believe you have to go over the bridge.
Over the bridge we go. From the middle of the bridge, we get a pretty good view of Tallulah Gorge as well. Let's go back, hyperlapse style. After all that walking, it is time for an IPA.
Tell you what, that hike and that beer made me hungry, so we're gonna cook the last picadillo of the trip. Which, as you know, I don't make a classic, picadillo in the classic style. I have my own version, and for this I haven't used this one for a while, but it's gonna be big, so might as well use the large pot. We're gonna do ground beef. Actually, it's not really a picadillo. I don't know what I'm gonna call this dish yet. How about a chickpea chili? Can we call it a chickpea chili? Because I'm gonna use garbanzo beans, which are chickpeas. And it's basically like a chili. And I have no recipe. I'm just gonna wing it, as I usually do. And I have some ground bison, which is what we're gonna use for this one. It's very lean, so I don't know how that's gonna work. It's 90% lean, and I usually just use the fat that comes out of the ground beef. So if we don't get enough fat, I might add a little bit of olive oil.
Well, there it is. I'm gonna use this Southwest blend instead of chopping onions and peppers. I'm out actually, and open a can of chickpeas.
Let's add a generous amount of salt to this.
and also black pepper. As the ground buffalo starts releasing some of that fat, I'm gonna add the Southwest blend, which some brands actually call it sofrito mix. It is the same thing. It gives it a lot of flavor.
Actually, this stuff is gonna disappear.
Yeah, might as well. Let's get a potato.
I hope it's still good. This came all the way from Idaho. It's been here in my fridge for a month. I bought it in Idaho. It's an Idaho potato.
That's our potato, chopped. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add the garbanzo beans, which I rinsed several times, and some frozen green peas. Mix it all up. We're gonna add a generous amount of vino seco cooking wine as to cover everything so the potatoes actually cook in it. A little bit of tomato sauce.
Just a little bit, not too much. We don't want it to be too tomatoey. Oh, this is good. Oh man, this is good. This is good for like bruschettas or something. Lindsay's Spanish manzanilla olives. And since we don't have a real garlic, I'm going to add a real generous amount of garlic powder.
Paprika, of course.
Lots of paprika.
Let's add some oregano and cumin.
I will put a little bit of turmeric for color and flavor.
This is gonna be so good.
And since Illy is coming tomorrow and she likes this stuff a little spicy, let me taste first before I use it. I got this Tony Pacos salsa from Toledo, Ohio. It's a salsa, but it is very, it's not chunky at all. And it is not very spicy, so we can add. It's a Hungarian, medium Hungarian. Let's add a little bit. Just because. We're gonna let this cook and for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna uncover it and let it reduce for another 5, and then we're gonna taste it, make sure that it has enough salt, and then we're gonna eat it. Anyways, this is the final product. Someone just arrived. In any case, good morning. It is 7:11 a.m. and the days are getting noticeably shorter. It is getting, the sun's coming out later and later every day, and the trees are starting to turn. Kind of, sort of. Today we go to Atlanta, pick up Illy, and then back to Florida. Alright, on the road again. And today is going to be a relatively short ride. 117 miles, about 2.5 hours. We might encounter some traffic in Atlanta or Marietta, although we are not going to cross Atlanta proper until tomorrow. Still, first let's go by the dump station.
Alright, Tallulah Gorge State Park here. Very nice. Highly recommended. We'll be back one of these days. Oh no, what is this? It is a dirt road ahead and possibly a dead end. How do I always get myself into these situations, huh?
I definitely made a wrong turn somewhere. Let's do one of this.
That did not sound good. I forgot that all-important rule when backing up the trailer. Goal, G-O-A-L, get out and look. Let me tell you, impatience will get you every time. Well, luckily these two gentlemen showed up. I think they work for the state park, and they guided me to help me get Minitini out of the ditch. And fortunately, the only casualty was one of my tires.
Well, to make a long story short, I went back into this ditch and somehow I got behind this rock here. I mean, I was lucky that the RV came out in one piece, to be honest. Only one tire ruined and, well, another stabilizer jack gone.
The gentleman who helped me out recommended Wiley Tire here, and since they have my size, I'm gonna get 4 new tires.
Well, I guess everything happens for a reason, right? I now have 4 new tires. Wiley Tire, yeah, very friendly place. Very, you know, it looked like everybody knew each other in there. Like all the customers, they were like from the area. So I guess it's a small town shop, and I'm glad they had my size tire because not everybody does.
It turns out I am now 2 hours behind schedule. I was supposed to pick up Ely at Atlanta Hartsfield International, and now my brother-in-law Pepe is gonna have to do that, and I'm just gonna go straight to their place in Ackworth. But first, I'm famished, and since I'm already late, I better have some lunch. The young gentleman who changed my tires recommended this place in neighboring Clarksville called Midtown Grill, so that's where I'm going.
Riding my RV.
Well, that was a really good burger, so I want to thank the guy at the tire shop for recommending Midtown Grill here in Clarksville. And now, 2 hours behind schedule. Let's go to Ackworth.
Well, on the next one, we're going back to Florida and eventually Miami. We might even have a local meetup. Until then, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.
I'm riding in